But updating all of this thing is actually going to Olama. So I'm not actually paying a dime for making this update. Guys, don't be somebody who just buys a Mac Mini just for the sake of buying a Mac Mini. Yeah, guys, a lot of people really don't understand the OpenClaw setup, and people are saying, why not use Cloud Code for setting up this whole thing? Because Cloud Code also has like multi-agent SDK, and literally it can actually copy OpenClaw. But the problem is not like, first of all, let me show you like the real advantage of OpenClaw, right? So here I want to follow up or create a conversation with this person, right? So I'm actually telling it the OpenClaw to insert all of this into my Notion as a database, like I'm reaching out, but also suggest me something based on my sales script, right? So if I send that here, it will come back with a response. Give it a second. But the actual reason why you need OpenClaw versus Cloud Code is because of the subscription. Cloud Code is a 20 USD per month subscription basis, right? And you cannot actually change the backend of Cloud Code. What it means is, like, if you would have seen this dilemma whenever you are actually going and subscribing to ChatGPT, Gemini, or any other language model or any other business, is that they pull you with a really low offer, right? Until you are very comfortable with the system. Once you're really comfortable with the system, you cannot actually migrate. That's the trap there, right? So I'm not saying Cloud Code is better or worse. Actually, it might be a bit better than like OpenClaw. But I'm saying is, in OpenClaw, you have a loophole of getting out of the system. You can change the LLMs. You can change it to a private server, which will cost you nothing, right? And which way you can change into any kind of LLM, like OpenAI. You can go to Cloud Code. You can go to Perplexity. Perplexity is actually a much feasible AI model because it can switch with OpenAI, Cloud Code, or any other, and even Perplexity one. But you have to only pay the same rate for Perplexity, right? So this is the reason why I think Cloud Code is better. What are your thoughts about this? Have you ever been stuck in this loop whereby you kind of want to create something, but you started creating, but after a while you kind of figured out there is an alternative method which is much cheaper and much faster than whatever you were actually doing, but now you're stuck in that system? Comment your thoughts in the comment section below. In order to run OpenClaw in the most best way, you really need a PC with a Windows, right? You have to do it in Linux, you have to do it in Ubuntu, but you can still do it in Windows, right? The whole reason that you need to buy a really good system is for this thing. Can you see this? So this is a Lenovo system which has like camera button here. So if I want to off it, I can off it and on it, right? And also if I want to off my mic settings, I still have to do it. I just need to know which. Yeah, you can see this thing. So this is our personalization, whereby it's not our personalization, it's a company laptop. So you can do that. So once you do that and you install OpenClaw inside your PC, you have to run it in a Ubuntu server. So all of this thing, you can see this is an Ubuntu server and not a Windows server, right? But the main video that I want to ask or I want to cover today is this thing. So you can see there is chat history here and the chat is being filled or it's completed, right? So it's the same for if you're going for any kind of AI platform, right? If you're going for ChatGPT or Gemini, you have a chat window, but once you complete like a 50 response in that chat window, either the chat window will be really slow or it will stop and say, you have maximized your credit here, you have to open a new chat window, right? So this is how AI softwares actually charge you based on the chat duration, right? But inside OpenClaw, there is something known as Obsidian database. So this is Obsidian database. This is kind of saved in my PC, right? This SSD Mac is like just a external SSD. It's not connected anywhere. You can see it's just a external C drive or D drive kind of stuff. I just made it like the SSD because it was like, usually I started with a Mac system, but then I wanted to transfer it to a Windows system. But the whole point is, if you go to Obsidian here, this is like a Notion, but for long-term memory, right? There is one agent that I am really, these are all my Notion database. So even if I want to transfer it from OpenClaw to any other LLM or like LangChain or something, I can pretty much connect to Obsidian and I will not have to train everything from scratch, right? But the interesting thing is this thing. So this is a sales call or text message trainer. So I have been training this for the past week, and as you can see, I'm like giving it scenarios like why you should be thinking like that, why you should be doing this thing. So this thing is inside the whole repository here, right? And it won't be represented inside the chat. So you can see my chat is fully maxed out here. It's a new chat, a new day, right? So whatever I have been training in any LLM, like let it be ChatGPT, Gemini, it won't have that context window, right? So in order to maintain that context window, you can use Obsidian and in OpenClaw, which will make an amazing system for you. Hope this video sums up why you shouldn't buy a Mac Mini just for making an OpenClaw integration. Next video. Stay tuned for next video. So if your business or you want to know better OpenClaw design and multi-agents without like the marketing guy who's saying, I have saved 24,000 a month for getting OpenClaw shit. If you don't want that guy, then follow me. I had to come back to the desk to actually make you understand how crazy is OpenClaw. Okay, now people might be also thinking, Notion, Auto Agent, this is like a common browser, nothing really fancy, right? Wait a second. So inside my whole setup here, there is something known as local lead tracking XLS. So this is a local file. It's inside my computer. And let me just open it. Right, it's in my computer. And what we have sent right now has been updated in an Excel sheet, right? This is kind of Notion, but in an Excel format. So why do you need it? So if there is some break in the system, or tomorrow my Notion and Obsidian is being cracked, right? Even for an enterprise solution, right? If your whole database, local database is cracked and you need a subsequent AWS database or a Google Vertex database, which is kind of cloud or which is kind of local, which is like really the crux of all of your client and information that is stored for in long run, and you don't have to share it to the public or share it to the enterprise or share it to any kind of Google Drive or AWS, and you just want to keep it locally, this can actually be done. And now the interesting part is inside OpenClaw, you are giving one prompt to say, okay, I have reached out to this lead. It's simultaneously updating Notion, it's simultaneously updating your local server, and it's simultaneously updating some local file which is very personal and which is very secretive for your company. All of this can be done with one prompt. Okay, now you might be thinking, okay, then that means that I have to do a lot of LLM calling, right? That means a lot of cost is being associated with using this, right? Actually, no. Why? Because here inside my Cloud Code, it's actually an Olama and OpenAI based model, right? So I do not know where exactly the file is, but it's actually, I have Olama installed inside my computer, right? And this is a two-way system whereby it will kind of, OpenClaw will kind of think, okay, this might not be, this is a very time tedious task. So let me use ChatGPT server. If this is not a time tedious task, I will use Olama server instead. So the response on that message, it will actually go to ChatGPT. But updating all of this thing is actually going to Olama. So I'm not actually paying a dime for making this update. How crazy is that? If you want to emulate the system in your own computer, just message me on LinkedIn and we can figure out a way to emulate this on your PC or any kind of dumb PC that you have in your home which is not usable. Even 3-year-old or 4-year-old system, mine is 5-year-old system, can be done. Amazing, right?